The fourth module, respiration in plants, with regard to amphibolic pathway and respiratory quotient, that is RQ. In very first paragraph, this amphibolic pathway, glucose is a simple substrate, that is the favored substrate that participate in respiration directly. So carbohydrate, before participating in respiration, it is converted into glucose. If you observe the chart in case of respiration amphibolic pathway, in the middle it is the glucose, the right side it is the protein, left side it is the fats. So glucose participated first step in case of respiration. And there are some other substrate which are also participating in respiration, but not at first step, some other step, proteins and fats. Next, fats will be broken down into fatty acid and glycerol. Glycerol, it is going to convert into G3P and entering into the pathway. And fatty acid, by degraded to acetyl coenzyme, it enter into the pathway. Next, proteins in presence of the protease forms amino acid. Amino acid with deamination, it depends on the structure of the compound. It enter into the pathway by converting into pyruvic acid or acetyl coenzyme A, or any point of the Krebs cycle, any stage of the Krebs cycle in first paragraph. In next paragraph, the substrates are broken down as the fats into fatty acid and glycerol, glycerol into G3P, fatty acid into acetyl coenzyme A. The pathway, it is a catabolic process, and the pathway traditionally considered as catabolic pathway. Is this understanding is correct at this stage? No, because the compounds are withdrawn to synthesize the said substrate. Fatty acid broken down into acetyl coenzyme is a catabolic process. The compounds are withdrawn to synthesize said substrate. Which compounds are withdrawn? Acetyl coenzyme is withdrawn to synthesize the fatty acid whenever the cell is required. That is anabolic process. Likewise, G3P2 into, that is the glycerol. Likewise, protein. The alpha ketoglutaric acid of the Krebs cycle is withdrawn, and after reductive amination, it is going to form the amino acid into the protein. It is anabolic. So in this catabolic process, that is both catabolic as well as anabolic process come into the picture. Mainly it is the catabolic process also drives anabolic pathway. So catabolic process also drives anabolic. So it is considered as amphibolic pathway. So respiration in modern view, it is considered as amphibolic pathway. Whatever the intermediates, that is the carbon skeleton, which are the precursor for synthesis of other biomolecule, which are withdrawn to synthesize other biomolecule in case of amphibolic pathway. Next, in case of respiratory quotient RQ, it indicates the type of respiratory substrate that is oxidized. The ratio between CO2 evolved and O2 absorbed is called RQ, respiratory quotient RQ. In case of the carbohydrate, if you take cereals, rice, wheat and maize, the starch, C6H12O6 plus 6O2 gives rise to 6CO2. And the ratio of the carbon and oxygen are equal in case of the carbohydrate. So the amount of CO2 evolved to amount of O2 absorbed is the same. So RQ is 1 for carbohydrate. Next, fats. If you take the tripalmitin, the fat, C51H98O6 plus 145 O2 gives rise to 102 CO2 plus 98 water molecule plus NH. So in case of the fats, it is poor in oxygen, require more oxygen for its degradation. That's why RQ value is less than 1, that is 0.7. Poor in oxygen, require more oxygen for degradation. So less amount of CO2 evolved, more amount of O2 is absorbed. So RQ value is less than 1 in case of fats. Suppose if you take organic acid fruit juices, it is much in oxygen, require less oxygen for degradation. So for organic acid, RQ value is more than 1. More CO2 what? Less CO2 is absorbed because the substrates are rich in oxygens. So pure fats, pure protein, never be substrate. It should be chemically modified. Earlier we said protein, the degradation to form amino acid deamination enter into the pathway, fats broken down into fatty acid and glycerol like this. So pure protein, pure fat, never be substrate. So in this case we covered amphibolic pathway and RQ. In subsequent videos, whatever the questions, that is the textual questions, whatever the twist or the knots present in the text, it will be discussed in form of the questions in next videos. Subscribe and share. Thank you.